Today, we're exploring the amazing city of Bologna. And guess what? We've only got 6 hours. But don't worry, I'm gonna take you through the absolute must-see spots, from historic landmarks to hidden gems. And of course, we're gonna indulge in some of the best food this city is famous for. So whether you are here on a quick layover or just want to know how to make the most of your time in Bologna, this is the guide for you. Let's go, andiamo! Buongiorno, fellow travelers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Ken, and today we will be exploring Bologna together. Let's kick things off in Piazza Maggiore, the heart of Bologna. This square is surrounded by some of the most important buildings in the city.
And right away, your eyes will be drawn to the massive Basilica di San Petronio. You can't miss it.
In fact, it's the 5th largest basilica in the world, and it has a fascinating history. Construction began in 1390, but if you look at the facade, you'll notice something interesting. It's unfinished. The bottom half is covered in marble, but the top is just bare brick. That's because funding ran out and they never got around to completing it. Well, inside there's something really cool. It's the meridian line or sundial, and it was designed by the astronomer Cassini in the 1600s. This was one of the largest sundials in the world and is still functional. Every day at noon, a ray of sunlight passes through a small hole in the ceiling and hits the exact spot on the floor, showing the time of the year. It's a clever mix of science and faith, all within a church. Just a short walk from Piazza Maggiore, we arrive at one of Bologna's most iconic landmarks, the Neptune Fountain. It was sculpted in 1566 by the artist John Bologna, and is a symbol of the city's power. You can see this fountain in a lot of photos and postcards, and for good reason. It's stunning. At the top, Neptune, the Roman god of the sea, stands with his trident, looking every bit as mighty as you would expect. Below him, cherubs and dolphins spout water. And if you look closely, you'll see 4 sirens, each one representing a different continent as they were known back then. And yes, the water does spout from their bosoms. What's really interesting about the fountain is the hidden symbolism. Neptune represents the Pope, and the flowing water symbolizes the power of the church reaching far and wide. There's also a little trick here. If you stand at the correct angle, Neptune thumbs will look like, well, I'll leave that for your own imagination to discover when you visit. Just next to the fountain is the Palazzo d'Acusio, which used to be the city's town hall. It's now a museum, and if you've got a bit of extra time, it's worth checking out. Inside, you'll find the Sala Borsa Library, where you can actually walk on glass floors and see ancient Roman ruins underneath. But next, we are checking out the famous 2 towers, the Torre degli Arsenali and Torre Garisenda.
These medieval towers are a symbol of Bologna. During the Middle Ages, wealthy families built these towers as a display of their power. At one point, there were over 100 towers in Bologna, but today only a handful remain. Standing at 97 meters, Torre degli Arsenali is the taller of the 2 towers. Currently, it's closed due to renovation, but normally when it's open to the public, you can climb it, and it's 498 steps to the top. It's a bit of a workout, but the view from the top is absolutely worth it. You'll get a panoramic view of the entire city, with its red rooftops, winding streets, and rolling hills in the distance. Now, I don't know if you can see in the video, but Torre Garisenda is much shorter, and very interestingly, it's leaning. It tilts noticeably, kind of like a mini leaning tower of Pisa. In fact, Dante himself mentioned this tower in his famous work, The Divine Comedy, which just adds another layer of historical significance. But next, it's time to check out another symbol of Bologna, the porticos. These covered walkways are more than just pretty. They are a huge part of the city's identity. In fact, Bologna is famous for having the most porticos in the world, stretching out a total of 62 kilometers. They've been around since the Middle Ages and were originally built to create extra living space above the street. But today, they provide perfect shelter from the sun and rain.
making them ideal for strolling no matter the weather. One of the most famous porticos is the Portico of San Luca. It starts right in the heart of the city, near Piazza Maggiore, and stretches all the way up to Santuario di San Luca, perched on a hill. In 2021, Bologna's porticos were recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. They're not only an architectural wonder, but also a social space where locals meet, shop, and relax. Walking under these arches, you really feel like you're stepping back in time. But next, we are going to visit a very interesting part of Bologna, the Quadrilatero. This area is a food lover's paradise. It's a maze of narrow streets filled with market stalls, delis, and small restaurants. This is where locals come to shop for their fresh produce, pasta, cheese, and cured meats. One of the highlights here is mortadella, which is kind of like the original Bologna sausage. But trust me, it's much tastier than what you might think of back home. You can get it sliced fresh from the butcher and enjoy it with a bit of bread. And of course, there's tortellini, the famous stuffed pasta for Bologna. You can even watch pasta being made by hand at some of the stores here. If you got a bit of time, sit down at one of the trattorias for a proper meal. For lunch today, we've gone for some classic local dishes. I've opted for lasagna al ragu. This is the real deal, with ragu being the original version of what most people know as bolognese sauce. Rich, meaty, and layered with creamy bechamel. It looks incredible. Steve, on the other hand, has gone for tagliatelle with ham and cream. Another delicious choice. Well, we just had our lunch. I had a lasagna with ragu sauce, and it was absolutely divine. I really enjoy it. I also actually tried Steve's tagliatelle as well. That was one with ham and cream. Tagliatelle is a flat ribbon-like pasta, and mixed with those ingredients, it was really delicious. So they're both really good. We're skipping dessert because we have other plans. We are heading to a gelateria that we loved years ago for some unforgettable gelato.
It's early afternoon, must be time for gelato. So we always check the reviews first to find out which one's at the top. This is very high up the list. In fact, we think we've been here before on a previous visit. Let's see if they've kept the standards up.
So this yellow one is called Piazza Grande. It's almond cream. Well, let me try the pistachio one now. Still very good. Oh, we finished our gelato already. And you know what? We made a big mistake. But only ordering 1 cup.
2 cups better.
Yes. It's already over. And we can't really join the queue again. It's our 15 people lining up. We got to continue. From food to history, our next stop is the Archiginnasio, the main building of the University of Bologna. Well, fun fact, Bologna is actually home to the oldest university in the world, founded in 1088. One of the coolest parts of the Archiginnasio is the Teatro Anatomico. This wooden amphitheater was built in 1637 and is where medical students learn about anatomy. They would perform human dissections right here in this room, which was a huge deal back then. The walls are lined with statues of famous doctors, and the ceiling has an elaborate wood carving of Apollo, the god of medicine. But after the anatomy theater, make sure you also visit the Stabat Mater Hall. Well, welcome to the Stabat Mater Hall inside the Archiginnasio. This room, as you can see, is really special. Just look at those walls. It's covered in thousands of students' coats of arms. It's almost like a medieval yearbook. Originally a lecture hall, it later became a reading room for the library. Its name comes from a famous 1842 performance of Stabat Mater, a hauntingly beautiful hymn. Today, it still hosts concerts, lectures, and events. So history is very much alive here. If you've been enjoying this video or find the info useful, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and it lets me know you want to see more content like this. Be sure to also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more Italian adventures from our travels. Our final stop is a bit of a hidden gem, the Basilica di Stefano, also known as the Seven Churches. It's actually a complex of several different churches, all connected by courtyards and cloisters. Each one has its own unique style, from Romanesque to Gothic, and together they create a fascinating labyrinth of history. Legend has it that Saint Petronius, the patron saint of Bologna, founded this site as a recreation of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. As you walk through the courtyards, it's hard not to feel a sense of peace here. The architecture is stunning, with ancient stone walls, frescoes and altars that date back over 1,000 years. It's one of those places where time seems to stand still. If you want a quiet spot to reflect and escape the busy streets, this is it. Well, that's it for our whirlwind tour of Bologna. We've covered a lot, from historic towers and churches to incredible food and hidden gems. Even though it's a short visit, I hope you've got a sense of what makes this city so special. If you're looking to explore more amazing spots in Italy, be sure to check out some of the videos right here, where I explore some of the most interesting places this beautiful country has to offer. I'll see you over there. Ciao for now.